Hey guys, Jake here. Today we got another video coming at you. This one we are doing a disc comparison with the Innova Mako3 to the MVP disc lineup. We're going to go ahead and see how the Mako3 compares, if there's a disc in the MVP lineup that is similar, that could get you the same sort of flights, and just give us a chance to throw some different plastic. So I do have a 180 gram Champion Mako3, as well as a DX 180 gram Mako3. I threw a Mako3 very briefly in 2021. I found one lost on a course and threw it when I was at the Des Moines Challenge a little bit. For me, it was a slightly understable, slow mid-range. If I were to give numbers, I would have said it was like a 4, 5, -1, 0, something like that. You know, just sort of a slow drifting right flight. These are both brand new. We'll see how they compare. We're gonna go ahead and start by just throwing backhand flat, starting with the Champion Mako3. Pretty straight, not much turn, and a very light fade. Very neutral. All right. Maybe we'll try the DX next. Also pretty straight. That one did seem like it had a little bit more drift, but also a little more glide. Not a huge difference between the two, but very, very straight discs. So I brought along a slew of mids. I threw some that I wasn't sure about, which I think after throwing those, I think they're going to stay over here. The Paradox, way flippier than that. The Uplink, also a lot, it's definitely going to turn at that range. Like, it would finish right. It wouldn't be a massive turnover, but those were a lot more stable than Uplink. I have a Fission Reactor, which is going to have way too much fade at the end, and is definitely not going to turn at all. And I think that that's going to be a bit more overstable than what you'd be looking for with the Mako3. So what I'm left with, got these 3 discs, which I was pretty sure were going to be a good match, and it seems like they still will be. So we've got a Hex, an Echo, a Proxy. And you might say a Proxy, that's a putter, that's a 3-speed. But MVP putters go really far. And that mid-range, I don't remember going all that far. So I'm thinking this might not be as far off as you might think. So we'll start by throwing the Hex first. Good straight. Yeah, pretty similar. I mean, barely any more fade. Echo. This is my guess right here. I think this will be the one, but that one's rising a little bit. Might have got that nose up a bit. Yeah, very straight. A little bit more nose up than the other one, so it kind of looked like it faded a bit more there at the end. But and then the Proxy. Very straight. Just a tiny drift to the right. Yeah, I'm going to go see where those ended up, and then I'll come back and we'll throw them again. All right, guys, results are in. Those were all pretty dang close to each other. The only one that was a little out of the circle was the Proxy. The Proxy was probably 20 to 30 feet short of everything else. So I did kind of take that out. I think it has a similar flight path. It's very straight and neutral, but I think it just lacks the glide and a little bit of distance to really keep up with the mid-ranges. It's close though. If you really liked it, you could pump a Proxy. But we're going to throw these again. This time we're going to throw them on just a touch of Hyzer and see if they'll stand up at all. I want to see if these have any turn. So we'll start again with the Champ Mako3. Not much stand up, a little. It stayed on hyzer the whole time. It flirted with standing up. Try the DX next. Threw that one a little low. It looked like it wanted to stand up a little more, but just like the first time when we threw him flat, it really was not that different than the champion. It's kind of nice. The thing about DX though is as soon as you hit one tree, that's a very different disc. So, all right, we'll go with the Hex next. This was the furthest flying, by the way, from the last group. That one all just about stood up to flat. Again, pretty low. Struggling with my hyzer releases this morning, I see. Do the Echo. The Echo was a lot closer to the champion Mako 3. It started to kind of think about standing up, but never really got there. Huh. All right. So far, I think that the Echo is probably the front runner. It's about what I expected. So I'm going to go grab those. We're going to throw some Anhyzers next. All right, guys. Let's try some Anhyzers with these bad boys. So again, we'll start with our Makos. Champ Mako 3 first. Just going to throw them on hopefully a touch of Anhyzer here and see how they flex out if they do. Nice, holding, flattening out. It's got a little tiny touch of stability. It didn't hold it all the way to the ground. Not bad. Good turnover shot. All right, let's try the DX plastic. Turned that one a little harder that time, but again, flattening out nicely. That was a little slower to flatten out, all the way over into the wood line there. That one definitely seemed to fade a bit less than the champ one. Let's try the Echo. Yep, flattening out just about like the Mako did. Just a touch of stability at the end. And last up, the Hex. Yeah, very similar. They all held the turn for most of the way and just sort of flattened out after they got just a touch right of the starting point here. I think the most impressive part of those 4 throws is that all 4 of them were actually on Anhyzer, and none of them turfed or went sky high. So I'm proud of that part. I'm gonna go grab those. We'll do some forehands. All right, guys. Last thing we're gonna do is throw some forehands here. We're gonna try anyway. We'll start with the Makos here. Champ first. I'm throw these on a touch of hyzer just to. I'm pretty sure they're gonna flip. Probably more me than anything, but we'll see. Yeah, not the cleanest release in the world, but you know, they definitely drifted off to the left. Let's try the DX plastic this time. Yeah, a little bit flippier on that one. Again, not the greatest release. For some reason, it's not feeling quite as nice. Try the Hex next. I think it's just a touch shallower, maybe. I don't know. It just feels a little better in the forehand. They feel the same in the backhand, though. I don't know. I'm just more sensitive with my forehands because they suck so bad. All right, let's try this one. Oh yeah, that one came out way cleaner and didn't flip over at all. I could have thrown that one flat. All right, let's try the Echo. Good straight shot. Hey guys, sorry about that. The last section there with the forehands got cut off a little short. Some lady decided that she was going to go off leash with her dog that she has no control of, and it decided to come bark at me for 15 minutes. So Anyway, the forehands, it really felt like the Makos were a bit more understable, but it also could be because I could not get a good release with them, which is funny because they don't feel that different. I don't know, but it did seem like they had a bit less stability there from my ability. So the last thing I want to do before I give you my final thoughts is I'm just going to throw these guys hard and flat again, just one last time to get a flat shot out of them and just see if anything changes. I doubt it, but you know, those first throws of the days, you never know. So now that we've been warmed up a little bit, we'll see if it changes anything. So we'll go with the Champion Mako3 first. Just a very straight disc. Very little fade. All right, let's do the DX Mako3. Ooh, that one I think I may have started on a touch of Annie. But if not, that turned a lot more than it has. Next up, the Echo. Very straight flying disc. Seems like it maybe went a touch further, not a ton, but a little more glide maybe. And the Hex. And again, I don't know if I threw that on a little bit of Annie or if it just got a tiny bit of turn. But I think we can go with my final thoughts on this. If you are currently bagging an MVP Echo and you wanted to branch out to another brand because you're leaving, first off, shame on you. But second of all, the best match for the Innova line there, it looked like, was the Mako3. So the Echo to the Mako3 seems like a pretty good match. The Hex is very close. And honestly, that Hex seems a little more understable than the Echo, which is weird. I haven't seen that, so maybe that Hex is just seeing a little bit more use than my other ones. But normally I would say that's a little bit more stable than an Echo. So I think, I don't know. They're close though. Anyway, so an Echo or a Hex, depending on if you like the feel of an overmold or not. Very good match. If you have a DX Mako, especially one that's maybe been beaten up a little bit, I'm guessing the uplink will be a lot closer because I think that's going to get flippy pretty fast as we use it, especially if it flies like that last one. I still think I yanked it over a little bit, but yeah, in general, I think Echo is your man. And if you're coming from another brand and looking to try MVP discs and you really like the Mako3, number one, why are you switching? If you like the Mako3, throw the Mako3. It's perfectly fine disc. But if for some reason you have to because you're sponsored by MVP or you just really want an MVP bag because you like MVP, then I think the Echo is the one you want. So I think that's it for our first comparison video. I'll have hopefully many more to come. I'm hoping I can crank these out a little bit faster than my other stuff. They're a little bit easier to put together. So yeah, if you liked it, feel free to throw a like. If you have any other questions about the discs or comments, if you're a Mako thrower or a Echo thrower or whatever, feel free to drop a comment below. And if you want to see more of these comparison videos, feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.